Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope everybody is well. Got something else that's really interesting I want to share with you. I don't know where all these stories are coming from about space and apocalyptic things, and I don't know, but something ain't right. Anywho, NASA explains how it would alert the public of an apocalyptic asteroid strike. This story came out on yesterday, February 17th, 2024, and it is from the science section of the Business Insider. The fact that it is in the Business Insider and not in a local newspaper or a national newspaper is very interesting to me. Nonetheless, because I read everything and everywhere, when I come across stuff, I share it so that you will understand the times we are living in and see that all things are really being exposed. They can't hide this stuff anymore. Um, to me, this explains why the billionaires are building their bunkers and why the powers that be are going along with all of their plans, not hiding who they truly are. Like, time must really be um, nearing an end, or we're nearing an end of this age. Their rule is about over. So they're warning themselves and not really talking to the average Joe. And the average Joe has no clue what's coming because I talk to people all the time and they just don't know. So let's get into this story. So it says, when the Chicxulub impactor, a 6-mile wide asteroid, struck Earth 66 million years ago, the dinosaurs had no warning. If an asteroid that size hit Earth today, and I'm going to go back, they talk about dinosaurs and giants and all these things. We can just say these were the days of Noah. Take away their time frame because they lie about everything. We don't know about time, but what we do know is that there was a time when giant things roamed the earth and the earth was flooded. So the next time the earth is going to be destroyed by fire. And I don't doubt that water will be involved, but the scripture is very specific. The earth has never been destroyed by fire. And so all this talk about volcanoes and earthquakes and asteroids, and then you add to that nuclear war, the impact of weather changes and man-made devastation. It's highly possible, but in any event, if an asteroid that size hit the Earth today, a shock wave 2 million times more powerful than a hydrogen bomb would flatten forests and trigger tsunamis. A seismic pulse equal to a magnitude 10 earthquake would crumble cities. And long after the impact, a cloud of hot dust, ash, and steam would blot out the sun, plunging the earth into freezing cold. But at least we'd probably know it was coming ahead of time. And if NASA has anything to do with it, we may even be able to prevent the apocalypse. Playing God again. NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office is tasked with finding, tracking, and assessing the risk associated with potentially hazardous asteroids in our solar system. We definitely want to find all those before they find us, said Lindley Johnson, lead program executive for Planetary Defense Coordination Office. To do that, NASA works with a global coalition of astronomers called the International Asteroid Warning Network. So this is what lets you know that they're looking for something. And this is something, I don't know if you've ever listened to Pastor Darby, but years ago he talked about this asteroid that they know is coming on a planet, and they're not telling anybody. The Vatican knows, which is why they have this telescope and watching space. You know, why is it that the church is watching space unless they're not who they say they are? Because the AME church ain't watching space. They don't have a telescope watching space. The Black Baptists don't have no telescope. The Mormons don't have a telescope. All these different little small spin-off denominations of Christianity, they don't have science at the forefront like these other Edomite religions, these bigger ones. So you got to know it's something to it. So it says, here's what they would do if an apocalyptic asteroid strike was headed towards the Earth. Listen to this now. An international warning system. In the event that a dangerous asteroid is headed toward Earth, IOWAN has procedures in place to notify the public. First, the party members who detected the threat would share their observations across the IOWAN network to verify their findings and assess the danger. Well, that's going to be a problem. Once all the parties have to agree, so if all the parties don't agree, you're subject not to know nothing. So this already is a problem. And you already know who came up with the rules, so you already know they got a back door for not doing what they say they're going to do. Once all the parties agree that Earth should brace for impact, NASA will send out an alert. I don't have a red phone on my desk or anything, Johnson said, but we do have formal procedures which notification of a serious impact would be provided. If the asteroid was headed toward the U.S., NASA would notify the White House, and the government would release a formal statement to the public. If it was big enough to pose an international threat, IOWAN would notify who? The United Nations Office of Outer Space Affairs. Shut the front door and slap your mama. So, y'all already know what's coming, right? With the okie doke is coming soon. An asteroid is considered potentially hazardous if it is larger than roughly 460 feet across and intersects Earth's orbit at a minimum distance of 0.5 astronomical units, which is half the distance between Earth and the Sun. There are about 2,300 known potentially hazardous asteroids out there, and roughly 153 of them would be large enough or larger than 0.6 miles across. That's big enough to trigger a catastrophe if one struck Earth. So anywho, they're going to defend the Earth. I'm going to skip on down. Most of the time, IOWAN catches oncoming asteroids long before they become an immediate threat to Earth, according to Johnson. But NASA would need at least 5 to 10 years of advance notice to prevent the apocalypse from approaching an asteroid. So y'all know that's what they're gearing up for now. That's what all this stuff is for. All these wars, all these weapons, they need all this stuff. This is what this battle is allegedly going to probably be about. In 2021, NASA launched its first planetary defense test mission. It rammed an uncrewed spacecraft into an asteroid to shift its orbit away from the Earth. Now, y'all know this is the same type of thing that they did in that movie, Don't Look Up. The mission was a success, and NASA plans to test more deflection techniques in the future. A developing gravity attractor technique um, would send a spacecraft to stay in position next to the asteroid and allow the gravitational interaction to pull the asteroid out of its orbit. NASA is also working on a technique that uses an ion beam to shift an asteroid's course. But if the threat was coming in less than 5 years, NASA would have time to deflect the asteroid. Then it might resort in destruction to minimize and disperse impact. So if NASA only had a few months of warning, then there's not much it could do to save Earth. Thankfully, our strategy to find asteroids decades, if not centuries before impact, or their strategy is to find asteroids decades, if not centuries before impact. That gives us plenty of time to then try to do something about them while they're still in space so that we completely avoid any catastrophe here on Earth, Johnson said. So, I just wanted to share that with y'all. They're telling you stuff without telling you stuff. The link will be in the description for this. You can do your own research and you can put 2 and 5 together and understand the times that we're living in. They're not telling you this for nothing. They haven't been showing us movies about this for nothing. They know what's coming. And the closer we get to April, the more disclosures are being made. And I don't think it's by accident. So, with that said, keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High. None of our preps would ever help us survive anything apocalyptic. But if it is the desire of the Creator for us to survive, we will. And those are my thoughts. I'm sticking to them. All right, y'all. This is Marla K. Love y'all. And I'm out.